Hello, everybody. It is WRESTLEBUDDY's Raw Recap. We're doing a little bit different this week. We're going to go live with the show. So if you're here in the chat with me, thank you for joining me. If you're watching this at a later date, I appreciate you watching anyway. But if you watched the show before, you know I kick right into the show. Not wasting any time. Just a quick shout out to my main man, Chris, in the chat. I appreciate you, man. But let's get to the show. We get the show started off. It is the KO show right out the gate. He comes out rocking that sideways cowboy hat, doing the Texas tease just a little bit more, you know, get me all excited and shit because the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing that please is going to happen. But we will see. But just a quick little introduction for him, and then he brings out Seth freaking Rollins, of course, buddy. They got a tag team match next week for the titles, so they're coming out to gloat about that. Yes, that JBL hat, Chris, it is fantastic. KO, he just does all the little stuff. He just does all the good little stuff right. He's very entertaining. So, but back to the show. You know, they're just talking up what they're going to do. They're going to win the titles. They're going to go to WrestleMania. Then they bring out the Alpha Academy as their guests. Get a lot of good work here between Chad Gable, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens. Chad Gable really showed that he belonged in the ring with these guys. Basically ended when they got into a shush-a-thon with each other, like shush, 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 shush. And then KO just had enough, and he ends up stunning Chad Gable. Another part to just note on was how Seth and KO were making fun of Chad Gable's thank you, because you're saying it wrong. You're saying it wrong, Chad. Chad don't know what's going on. He's like, thank you. It's good stuff, funny stuff, good stuff. Entertaining as can be. Chad Gable, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, they're three of the absolute best things on Raw. You have them in the same segment. It's going to be awesome. But like I said, it ends with Chad Gable eating a stunner, which goes to a commercial break. And you guessed it, led to a tag team match between these two. I'm not mad, though. You shouldn't be mad, though. It was a great match, and it was just a teaser of what we are going to be seeing next week on the show. After that, we get an Omos hype video. In case you forgot about Omos, because he ain't really getting pushed like he was before. But yeah, he got a hype video before his match with T-Bar. They really hyped this up as the biggest opponent Omos has ever taken on. They really wanted you to think that T-Bar had a chance here. T-Bar comes out, he's excited, he's pumped, he gets on the apron, Omos knocks him over, and that's pretty much it for T-Bar. He's out, Omos throws him in the ring, picks him up, match starts, he manhandles him. The double choke, slams him, pins him, 1, 2, 3. I just have to say, I'm very, very big on Omos. I think they've done a great job of building this man up to be a monster. Yes, he squashed T-Bar big time. I just want to say, poor Dijakovic. He is so much better than this. But he's playing a part right now. Hopefully, there's light at the end of the tunnel for this man, because he has so much to offer, a lot more than what we saw tonight. But anyway, that's beside the point. Omos got another squash victory. I can't see him not being part of WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form at this point. But that was that. We're going to go to the back where we get a Becky Lynch, Nikki ASH, and a Doudrop promo about their 6-woman tag match they have coming up. Then they go to the ring as a cohesive unit. They all come out with Becky. But then after that, we get a Bianca, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley promo. And then they all come out separately afterwards, come down to the match. This is the theme for the night, just to give a heads up to people in case they didn't watch. There was a lot of people like, oh, there's so many tag team matches. Yeah, and so what? They were all good. The worst match of the night was the Omos squash. So everything else, every other match, if you're into watching wrestling, I suggest, because they were all good, including the 6-woman tag match. Chris says the hair whip was brutal. Yes, towards the end, we get Becky and Bianca in the ring, and Becky's using the hair throughout the match, and Bianca finally just has enough of it, and she starts whipping her, kind of like Sasha got back at WrestleMania last year, except for Bianca did not let up. She just kept whipping her, and you just hear crack, crack, crack. You saw the red lines all over Becky's abs. It was nasty. It was brutal. Not cool, Bianca. And then Becky ended up leaving, and that left Nikki ASH and Doudrop outnumbered, but it didn't matter. Bianca picked Nikki ASH up, boom, hit her with the KOD 1, 2, 3. Team Bianca gets the win. No surprise there, but an entertaining match to say the least. So that is 2 for 2 on the 2 out of 3 for the match. I keep forgetting about the squash match, but good match nonetheless. We go to commercial break, and then we come back and we get another fresh matchup with Mr. Bobby Roode taking on Tommaso Ciampa, because Tommaso Ciampa seems to be now a Raw superstar. Not gonna be mad at that. Glad to see my man Champa come to his senses and was like, I'm not gonna retire if they call me up on the main roster. I'll see what they got going for me. He could be very, 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 very vital to the mid-card scene. As this match showed, he had a great match with Bobby Roode. I would have liked to see these guys get more time. I would have liked to see no Ziggler interference, but you know what's happening to promote the NXT stuff. Ciampa gets the win after a little bit of interference with Ziggler, but what I like here is afterwards, there's afterbirth. They beat down Ciampa. Ziggler grabs the microphone. He lets it be known, like, hey, there's more of this to come tomorrow night on NXT, letting all the viewers know, you like what you saw here? Tune into NXT tomorrow night. You're going to see more of me doing more of this, and we're going to be doing it to the NXT champion, Braun Breaker, if you don't know who that is by now. I like it. They're really, really, really trying hard to get people's eyes on NXT, which is something they should have been doing years ago. Like I've always said multiple times, if you've been in any of the podcasts, Survivor Series 2019, when NXT did the thing, this is what they should have been doing after that to get people watching it. And then who knows what happens with NXT 2.0 and all that. Could be a very different story, but that's for another day. I won't get too much into it. I like that they're doing it now. It's about damn time. As my man Chris here is pointing out, Ciampa got some new music to go with that freshly dyed beard of his. If you like my girl, if you're not a fan of dyed beard, I feel bad for Ciampa. I think it gave him like a psycho killer look, and that was his thing. He was a psycho killer. I really didn't get a chance to hear the music. I was doing something with the kids at the moment, so I'll go back and listen to it. I'm not a fan of him changing the music, though, because No One Will Survive was perfect for Ciampa. And we got Courtney in the chat. Hello, Courtney. Thank you for joining us with the live Raw recap. We are just finishing up the first hour and about to jump into hour 2. It kicks off with a mixed tag 24/7 championship story revolved around this. You got Reggie and Dana Brooke taking on Tamina and the romantic power of Akira Tozawa. I take back the whole no bad matches. This wasn't that good, but it's 24/7. It's to be expected. Courtney giving a quick note on the Tommaso. She don't like the theme. That seems to be the theme of the theme. No one seems to be a fan of it. I'll listen in a little bit to give my judgment on it. But 24/7 nonsense. Back to that. Of course, Reggie and Dana got the win here. Afterwards, Tozawa, Dana Brooke gave Reggie another kiss. If you're into the whole soap opera nonsense going on with that. And then Tozawa, he's been begging for that smooch from Tamina. He's on the outside. He wants the smooch. Tamina grabs him, gives him the smooch. Man's mesmerized. Akira Tozawa is doing fantastic work. He has been the entire time during this 24/7. It needs to be said. It needs to be said more often, honestly, because he's just doing great work. I do miss watching the man wrestle because he is lights out, fantastic. But he has a small role here, and he's knocking out the park, in my opinion. And again, I just think that needs to be noted. And all y'all need to be giving that man some more praise. That's what I say. Starstruck. Yes, Chris, he was starstruck. He's like, I want some more of that Tamina. Enough 24/7 nonsense, though. We're moving on. We had a commercial break, and the Mysterios come out. Ray cuts a promo. It was nothing to write about because I didn't write about it. Obviously, you don't have to watch it. Dom came in with his little quick lines. Nothing special. He has no charisma, so it's nothing. Out comes Miz, and since Miz's return, I have not been a fan of much of anything the man's done. This promo tonight changed that completely. He really ripped into the Mysterios. He put over Logan Paul big time. He had the crowd in the palm of his hands. That's another thing I need to say. The crowd for tonight, good job. Thank you. This is the kind of crowds that WWE needs more of. They were into the show for most of it. When they were supposed to be getting loud, they were getting loud. When they're supposed to boo, cheer, they were booing and cheer. Good crowd, and this segment was a good indicator of that because they really, really hated the Miz. He leaves. Out comes the Hurt Business. Not Bobby Lashley and MVP. Cedric and Shelton still think they're the Hurt Business for some reason. They come out rocking the Hurt Business music. They come out taking on the Mysterios. Match was okay. It was new. That hey, it's not a rematch. That's what y'all always complain about. No more rematches. No, it wasn't a rematch. It was a decent match. It was what it was. It was designed to further story, and that's what happened when Miz came out and he tripped up Dom. Ray chased him out. Shelton got the win. 1, 2, 3. Nice surprise. Hurt Business got a win. I like that. That's good. And then again, it just furthered the story with Dom, Ray, Miz, and the Logan Paul that was not there tonight. Dom's getting a little bit more feisty. Yeah, his one-liners, he's got some snap behind him. He still don't have that much charisma, but you can kind of see cracks showing. And it would not surprise me. We're not getting Dom and Ray at WrestleMania, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Dom flip the script on Ray and turn on him at WrestleMania. That's my prediction at this point. Just very small cracks starting to show. After that, we go to the back, and it is an RK Bro backstage segment. Riddle's in there coloring book because he's trying to color in lines and gain some focus. Randy comes up, says, you know, you're the same as you always been, Riddle. Gives a rah-rah speech, gets Riddle pumped. They're ready to go. He grabs a scooter. Out to the ring they go. They will be taking on the Street Profits tonight. Before that happens, though, they go to commercial, come back, and Carmella and Queen Zelina are in the back. And they just accept Sasha and Naomi's challenge for WrestleMania tag team titles. Of course, they're going to have a match for this at WrestleMania. It's like the third 3-match minimum they have for these titles. Just scrap them. It's so unnecessary. Sasha's above this. Naomi's above this, honestly. But they're doing it, and that's what happened. So that if you see those, just fast forward. I told you what happened. After that, we go to the RK Bro Street Profits match. Not a bad match. Nothing special. The big thing that happened tonight for me happened in this match. I think it's worth paying attention to because it could have very, very big implications with WrestleMania. And please don't let this be true. But at the end, Randy took the frog splash from Montez Ford, and it did not look pretty. Randy immediately grabbed his shoulder, rolled over. It looked like he was trying to put his foot on the rope. That was supposed to be how that match continued. And then Dawkins, he looked like he was trying to hold. Don't know. It was a botch. It looked like it was a botch completely. And then Street Profits picked up the win. Riddle looked confused. The ref checked on Randy. Randy said something to him, and then he called to the back and then went over and checked on him some more. Riddle came in, checked on Randy. It's looking like Randy Orton is hurt. The biggest story match going into WrestleMania for me, and I've been waiting for it for ever now, is Riddle and Orton. And it looks like we might not even get it now. Fingers crossed, Orton's injury was nothing major and everything keeps going off as planned, but I highly doubt that he will be competing in the match next week, the three-way for the tag titles. I would be shocked unless Orton is just doing a fantastic sell job and this is all part of the story in which he's going to end up turning on Riddle. I don't know. But if he's injured, that's huge. I'm personally just bummed if that's the case because the Riddle Orton thing was big for me. It's one of the matches that was supposed to be the highlight of WrestleMania, and it might not happen. So let's all hope that's not the case because Randy don't need to be getting injured. He don't need to be getting injured, and Riddle doesn't need to be losing his moment. This is supposed to be his moment to catapult him into the main event scene, make him a big star on Raw. And now, if Randy hurt, does Riddle even have a match at WrestleMania? That's where we're at, and that's unfortunate. But I won't get too caught up on it. We'll go to the next part of the show. It's Seth and KO backstage again, and Kevin is taking more shots at Texas. Bro, if they don't deliver me Stone Cold at this point, they're gonna have a problem at WrestleMania. I'm jumping rails. I'm stunning everybody. I'm chugging beer. I'm gonna take the place of Stone Cold if he doesn't show up at this point with all this teasing that's going on. You heard that. Write down. Take a picture. Remember, I don't care. It's what's gonna happen if they don't give me Stone Cold. Stomping a mud hole, Kevin Owens. Keep up the good work, though, Kevin. You're doing awesome stuff. That was all that was. Now, favorite part of the night for everybody. You guessed it. Veer. He is still coming. That's it. He's still coming. At this point, he's never going to arrive. He's just going to keep on coming, and then he'll go about his business, and we'll never even see Veer. That's what's happening at this point. But yeah, that's what happened there. After Veer's coming, they go back, and we got a Austin Theory, Vince McMahon backstage segment in which Vince McMahon is talking about his upcoming interview with Pat McAfee on Wednesday. Austin Theory, he kept talking about, what happens if you get jumped? That this kind of things can happen. You haven't done an interview in 20 years. Like what happened last time you smacked papers out of people's hands. What if they would have jumped you? Pat could jump you. And then Vince's like, that's not what kind of show this is going to be. And then gets up and leaves. And Austin Theory was like just thinking like, well, it could be. So the whole rumors going around that Vince McMahon, Pat McAfee are starting something on his show definitely seems to be the case now, unless they heard those rumors and are trolling people. But it looks like that's what's going to be. Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee. I'm not thrilled about that. I think Austin Theory deserves something bigger on the stage. But I will wait to see what happens. Nothing against Pat McAfee because I love him. I think he's awesome. He's fantastic. But I just think Austin Theory, with the momentum he has, they should be capitalizing with something bigger, like a United States title win over the champion, which we will get to next, because we have a Damian Priest Finn Balor match in which doesn't quite hold up to the NXT battle between these two, but it was really good. It was really good. And it gave us a surprise. I think some people were like, yeah, Finn Balor could win. Nobody was dead set like Finn Balor is winning. And that's exactly what happened. Finn Balor gave a performance to get the fans riled up behind him, and he ended up getting the win over Damian Priest. We're all happy. Yes, we are. Because I think everybody likes Finn Balor. I don't think I've ever met someone who doesn't like Finn Balor. And Damian Priest's run, it needed to end. Back to the Randy Orton thing. Yes, Courtney, it's possible he's gonna turn heel if he's not injured, though. That's everybody's assessment that he shaved the goatee. It's time for Psycho Killer Randy to return. But again, that's just hoping he's not injured at this point. But back to Finn Balor and Damian Priest, because after Finn Balor won, Damian Priest grabbed the microphone and he basically just said, hey, you won because of the fans. And he did a heel promo, said the fans never embraced him like they embraced Finn tonight, and he's tired of it, yada, yada. Typical heel promo for someone who's turning heel like this. and then he ended it by attacking Finn Balor, and then he ended up doing, I think, the power bomb onto the table, or the razor's edge that he does sometimes onto the announce table, and he just flew over the announce table, bounced, hit the ground. So Damian Priest heel turn is official. It is done. It is in the books. Yes, Chris, it was shocking. It was very shocking. And again, I know a lot of people are like, Finn could win. No, I don't think Finn coming back and then immediately win the title is something that people could be like, yeah, that's going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. Because the rumor was he was taking Jeff Hardy's spot. And Jeff Hardy wasn't getting these kind of opportunities. So shame on Dirt Sheets. You got wrong again. But good for Finn. I can't wait to see what they're doing with the United States title going into Mania. I want to see what they're going to do with Damian Priest, because if they're doing the heel turn and they've built him up this much, it would be crazy not to include him in WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form. That's that. Another great match between those two, though. So far, I would say 85% of the show has just been, it's worth your time watching, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I think it's been a very solid show. Things happened. Some things they weren't planning on happening, but they happened, unfortunately. And I think it set the ground for a lot of things moving forward. We get to the end, though, and the main event is not a match. It is the Edge Open Challenge segment, and everybody here is waiting for the same person. They're waiting for AJ Styles to come out and accept the challenge. And they milked it a little bit. They did some teases. Had people thinking it could be Cody Rhodes. No, Cody Rhodes is showing up next week on Revolution. Wrong show, wrong promotion, everything. Y'all all wrong. AJ Styles is the one that comes out. He comes out, he basically just says, I accept. Very short and simple. That's when Edge hits him with, hey, I want the Bulldog, AJ. I don't want Omos's tag team bitch. AJ's like, oh, okay. Edge reaches out, shake his hand. AJ goes to shake his hand, and Edge clobbers him, attacks him. AJ fights back, goes for phenomenal forearm. Misses. He does the little roll, comes back. As he does, Edge kicks him in the pee-pee. What? Edge. And then he just stood there looking like a crazy man. Demon versus Priest at Mania by Alex. Yes, I am all for that, honestly. I would sign up for that. That would actually be good. And I'm not really confused by him winning Courtney. I think it was time to take it off Damian. I think Finn will just be a transitional champion anyway. He'll probably carry it through Mania, but the Raw after Mania, I could see Finn dropping that title. But back to the Edge doing heel stuff, because he, like I said, he kicked AJ in the pee-pee and then just started beating him down. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, what are you doing, Edge? They tried, as someone on my timeline said, they tried this last year with Edge and it didn't work. Well, I think people will get behind an AJ. They weren't going to get behind Roman. And Daniel Bryan just didn't have that spark to him at the time. I think people want to cheer for AJ. I think AJ will make them cheer for him because it's AJ freaking Styles. And Edge does fantastic heel work. So I'm glad to see Edge finally do this, and I hope he goes 100% in on it. He ended it by giving a concerto to AJ. He was very conflicted on it. You could tell he's battling his inner demons on it. He didn't want to do it, but he ended up doing it. And then he started walking away. And then he did it again. And it's like, okay, this Edge has fully snapped, gone over the edge, and we're going to get full-blown heel Edge. I like it. It'll really have AJ coming out of WrestleMania as a top babyface. I like that because, as I've said, Roman Reigns needs challengers. And an babyface AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns is a feud I want to see. This is how you do it. AJ beats Edge at WrestleMania and then goes on to take on Tribal Chief. That's what I want to see happen. That's the show, though. I really enjoyed tonight's show. I saw some people complaining it was going too slow. I saw people complaining there was too many tag matches. I saw people complaining, doing the same complaining they do every single week. When they do, they're complaining. Shut up. Take it from me. I'm going to give it to you straight. This was a fun show. This is why I think Raw has been the most the consistently best show for maybe 3 months now. They've had hiccups, absolutely. Do I think there is another show right now that has been better the past 1 or 2 weeks? Yes. But over the past 3 months, Raw has been hitting on almost every single cylinder. Tonight was no different. We got a lot of different matchups tonight. They might have been variations of things we've seen, but they were not rematches tonight. So there's your number one problem y'all complain about was gone right there. We got stuff heading into WrestleMania. And yeah, and they're setting up matches for weeks ahead of time too. This is all things people have been wanting. This is what they've been delivering you. Accept it. If you don't want to accept it, don't watch it. Don't watch it, because I am so sick of seeing people complain about a show that is not that freaking bad. But that's the show. I thank you guys for joining me. Concerto, Courtney. That's exactly right. Dos of them. Dos concerto to end the show. And that's where I'm going to end the show. So if you liked it, you hit the like buttons. All y'all. Like. You should be subscribed. You should be subscribed to the other Drip King Jimmy Bay channel. Dropped a new video talking about the title situation with WWE because there's too many of them. So you should be checking that out as well. I will see you all on Wednesday night. I will be going to Dynamite Live, so I will have maybe some inside information for you after the show. Make sure you're tuning in, watching it with me live, so you could be some of the first people to get that inside information. And that's that. So again, last time, thank you for watching the show. I hope to see you all join me for these live recaps from now on. I think I like this better than just record, send. Live is much better. I like the interactions. I will see you too, Chris. Thank you for joining me, sir. And I will see you all again on Wednesday night for Dynamite. I'll be there live. Check out for the Drip King, because I'm going decked out this time. Look for me in the crowd. That's where I'll be. So see you then. Goodbye. Boom.